Hello and welcome to Composer's Voice. I'm Robert Voisey. In this episode, we're going to take you to Tampa, Florida, in Ybor City for the opening night of CAMPGround 25. This festival is presented by the Contemporary Art Music Project, or CAMP, a bold organization dedicated to showcasing living composers and adventurous new music from around the world.
My name is Kevin von Kampen, percussionist and board member with the Contemporary Art Music Project. CAMP would like to invite you to submit your acoustic and electroacoustic works, as well as installation proposals for our 5th International New Music Festival, CAMPGround 26, happening from March 5th to March 7th in Tampa, Florida. This year, CAMP will be collaborating with the Iranian Female Composers Association to premiere 3 new monodramas. We'll also be unveiling a special house installation project, which we've entitled A Little House Music. The call is open to all composers, and for more information, including guidelines and to submit your works, please visit our website, contemporaryartmusicproject.org.
CAMPGround is where experimentation meets expression. Each year, it brings together artists creating music that pushes boundaries, challenging the ear, and inviting the imagination. And it all takes place in this remarkable venue, TEMPUS.
TEMPUS Projects is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are an arts organization that functions primarily as an exhibition space for visual artists. We also host workshops and have a residency program where we invite people to come from all over the country and sometimes all over the world to come and write, create, compose, and then we feature those works in our galleries or in our shared spaces to feature what the residency has been about. We also host a lot of special events, and we like to partner with people in our community. One of those events is CAMPGround, and we are very excited to be working with CAMP again this year. It helps to broaden our reach in our community, and it gives us a diverse opportunity to work with people in different media, specifically current and contemporary avant-garde music and other classical music. And we just love being a host for different adventurous projects.
This partnership between CAMP and TEMPUS creates a perfect space for a night of boundary-pushing performances. Our next piece is sizzling, playful, and full of character. It's called Salsa al Vapor, or Steamed Salsa, a work for solo piano by Colombian-born composer Felipe Tovar-Henao, performed by the brilliant pianist Eunmi Ko. Felipe creates music that bridges worlds, melding his Latin American roots with contemporary techniques, humor, and a deep sense of rhythm. It's a piece that builds and bubbles, playfully boiling over with unexpected twists. The performer here is Eunmi Ko, an adventurous pianist known for her fearless interpretations of new music around the globe. She brings out every flick and splash and sizzle in this piece with impeccable timing and a touch of theatrical flair. It's virtuosic, it's witty, and it's a perfect bite of musical spice. So now, here's Eunmi Ko performing Salsa al Vapor by Felipe Tovar-Henao. Shiny Object Syndrome by Mathew Rosenblum, featuring Kevin von Kampen. If you've ever picked up your phone to check one thing and found yourself 30 minutes later scrolling, clicking, and wondering where the time went, this piece is for you. It's called Shiny Object Syndrome by Pittsburgh-based composer Mathew Rosenblum. Performed by the dynamic percussionist Kevin von Kampen, Mathew Rosenblum is no stranger to complexity. His music often blends microtonality, driving rhythms, and cross-cultural influences to create soundscapes that are both urgent and unexpected. In Shiny Object Syndrome, he dives into the sensory overload of modern life. It's a piece full of sparkle, tension, and sudden shifts of attention, just like everyday reality. Percussionist Kevin von Kampen takes on this challenge with incredible focus and flair, using a wide array of instruments, from resonant metals to sharp attacks. He captures the distracted energy of our hyper-connected age. Here's Shiny Object Syndrome by Mathew Rosenblum, performed by Kevin von Kampen. What an incredible night of music, from mythical tragedy to digital overload, from delicate silence to roaring sound. CAMPGround 25 gives us a full spectrum of contemporary expression, but CAMPGround is more than a festival, it's a community. The Contemporary Art Music Project, or CAMP, is dedicated to nurturing living composers, amplifying unheard voices, and creating platforms where bold ideas can thrive. It's a space for new, the unexpected, and the deeply personal. And if you're a composer watching this, consider this your invitation. CAMP is now accepting submissions for upcoming CAMPGround events and projects. If you're writing fresh, fearless music, they want to hear from you.
My name is Eunmi Ko. I'm a president and pianist of the Contemporary Art Music Project. I'm very excited to invite all of you to CAMPGround 26 call for works and installation proposals. We accept all styles of music and notations, and including all different kinds of instruments, toy piano, recorder keyboard, strings, percussion, winds, and all other instruments. Check out our call announcement. We present 20 to 25 selected works and multiple world premieres, including 3 monodramas in 2026. We present top-notch performers and exciting venues, a unique, truly one-of-a-kind musical experience. Submit your works and proposal now and be a camper.
You can find more information at contemporaryartmusicproject.org.